Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker has an extensive 16-year background in various industries. Izzuddin is currently the Director of Marketing and Communications at TNG National. She created her passion for turning brands around strategically to consistently match the current market and consumer needs. Izra has won numerous awards, including Gold Award for Best Marketer in Travel and Hospitality in 2017 and 18, Women in Leadership Award 2019, Young Achiever Award 2019, CMO Award winner 2018, and more. Today, Izra will be enlightening us that disruption isn't the only answer. Businesses must tap into markets' moods to meet the consumers' wants and needs. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Izzuddin.
Okay. Hi, good morning, everybody. I'm Izzuddin from TNG Digital. So I'm here today to talk about obviously disruption, but how does it work, and will it work, and will people care about it, right? So first of all, thank you very much for being here together with everybody, and thanks to the STARS team for inviting me and for having me the opportunity to speak today, and thanks to my girl Amelia to arrange everything for me. Without further ado, so I would like to proceed with the presentation. So I would like to share, so it's not anything that is very formal, not something that is too smart to understand. It's just going to be a story sharing, and as well as some case studies, and I'll try to make it very simple and relevant. So I'll talk about it more in the end of the presentation. So like how being relevant and being simple yet make it a big deal. Okay, so everybody thinks about do things differently, but yep. So this visual, as you can see here, is very simple, but how simple can it be, right? So there's a guy over there, and there's a couple on the right. So the guy there is your brand, and the couple is obviously your consumer, and the boyfriend is actually another brand. So how does it work here? So again, how do you want to disrupt? Do you really want to disrupt, or you want to keep it as it is, or you want to steal the consumer? So something that you don't see here is actually time, because time is very important. So hence why I don't put it here, because I'll go through the best timing and the best time to actually disrupt the market and steal the girlfriend. So looking at the single guy standing over there, right? So he is trying to get the girl, and the girl has a boyfriend. So I hope you understand the story here. Do you really need to spend a lot of money to get the girl? Does she even care about your money? Or do you need to change your color and be brave, become somebody that is very red and go straight to her and say, hey, I want you. I don't care that you have a boyfriend. Or you want to change your personality, or change your color, change your style, become a bit cooler, and hey, I'm different now because I want to suit your needs. Do you do that? Or do you even want to show that you actually care about what they want? Show that you love them, show that you care for them, and show them that, hey, I know what you need. But the best point here is, again, it's timing. So you can do with the money, you can be brave enough, you can change your way, you can change yourself, and you can show them that you care. But at the end of the day, I can tell you that, or you can agree with me or you can disagree with me, that many relationships fail because of timing. So assuming that I have a boyfriend, but I'm actually married, let's just assume that I'm single. A guy wants to get me, but my relationship is fine. One day, he knows that my relationship is in a big trouble. So that's the best time for him to come and woo me. And he doesn't need to spend a lot of money. He doesn't need to disrupt. But all he needs to do is just to show that, hey, he can't take care of you. I can take care of you. I can give you what you want. Right? Okay, so again, I want to disrupt. So what do you really understand when you say I want to disrupt the market? So number one is you need to understand. Number two, you need to know when is the best time. Number three, you need to know your audience. What do they need? Do they really care, or do they even know what you want to do with them, right? Okay. Yep, be different but relevant. Let's see some of these example. This is Malaysia, right? Because I'm not going to talk about some brands in the States or in the UK or in any other countries, because we want to make things very relevant to us yet very simple. So this is a Malaysian flag. Everyone knows this. We all Malaysians know our flag. But at times you see this flag has been transformed into a different shape. So you see a round shape, you see this some kind of creative shape, and then you see that thumbprint. But at the end of the day, you see one. They are all in different shapes, but you see one. That is Malaysian flag. You can relate. You see any of those, you know it's Malaysian flag, right? Okay, so talking about Malaysia, right? So let's see some of the stories, some of the very simple stories that happen in Malaysia. So what happened in Malaysia? AirAsia, I was there. But this happened when I already left the company, obviously. So, yep, let's see what happened. So they actually did this. And they said that that's a new Malaysia Airlines uniform. So they wanted to paint the town blue. They did that. But let's see why did they did that. And that was a fake news, by the way. So, this came out in the news. AirAsia sudah jadi warna biru. Why? And don't make AirAsia crew political stooges, says Nufam. So again, as much as they wanted to disrupt the market, they got themselves into a big trouble because they went against their SOP. So when the cabin crew signed their offer letter, they could not make any changes to any of their branding, any of their uniforms, any of their colors. But you know why they did this, right? So it's political. So it's a political disruption. Next, Firefly. I was there too. So let's see what happened at Firefly. Everyone knows that the color is orange, the logo is orange, and Firefly's aircraft is orange and white, but the corporate color is orange. And then they did this. Green, but without explaining why. And suddenly they came up with this. We are no longer orange. So, and they didn't explain to anybody whatever happened, but they changed every orange on their website, app, and everything in green, right? So, really? They really changed the color to orange, to green? And then they explain why. So at that time, while everybody was so busy doing something else, they came into the picture and disrupted and said that we are now green. Why? Because we support Go Green. And it was during the World Environment Day. So then they explained by doing this campaign. So ATR 72500, the turboprop, is actually a very green airline. They talk about sustainability, and they talk about being the first airline to recycle drinks cartons, as well as they did some on-board campaigns. So when I was there, so I did this campaign, right? So when I was there, I got so many calls from the media friends, from ex-colleagues, even my ex-boss. So everybody was like, what the heck are you doing? What are you thinking? Why did they change the color? So, and then even the Malaysia Airlines Group CEO called me and asked, what happened? Why do you change the color? And then after they found out why, they set up a meeting with everybody, Malaysia Aviation Group, Mars Wings, Malaysia Airlines, Firefly, Mars Cargo, and Amal. So he started to instruct everybody to go green and to talk about sustainability. So it worked. And it was relevant to the market, and it's very simple, and I can tell you it was done at no cost. And it was an intentional disruption. Nando's. No, everybody knows Nando's and their creative marketing campaigns. They are catchy, they're naughty campaigns. So let's see what they did. So what you can see here, right? So it was a reaction to another brand. I'm not going to mention that brand, but it was due to this, right? So, and Nando's was saying that, no, our burgers won't become like that. It will be gone in 3 to 4 minutes. And they made use of their peri-peri flavor. So it was during the election season, and as well as some other situational stuff that they did. So it's very simple. and they do right on their brand, they do right on the sources, they do right on their products. At the end of the day, it's very clear, and this is what they said: be relevant and topical, but know your limits. They do know their limits, and this is a social disruption because it made everybody talk about it. Okay, now I'm with Touch and Go e-wallet, right? So let's talk about what we did recently. COVID-19 happened. So it was a big thing, right? So this pandemic affected everybody. People losing their jobs, people had to stay at home, losing their daily activities. So, depression happens and stuff like that. But again, this is our Prime Minister. So he said something that made everybody laugh. So, everybody did a video using his script on TV. And then everybody, like the frontliners, the people out there, asking every Malaysian to stay at home, right? So this is our logo, Touch and Go e-wallet. And when he said this, duduk diam-diam di rumah, it became big. It's a very simple sentence, duduk diam-diam di rumah, just like what your mother would say. And then what we did was this. We didn't change much. From this logo, everybody understands that we are encouraging people to stay at home. So the logo has been placed, parked, put in a house to show that it's very simple. We are telling people, stay at home, be a good Malaysian. So some of the, not really a disruption, but some of the things that we did to support the mini disruption that we did, according to the whatever logo that we actually came up with, staying at home. So knowing that we make it relevant to the society, that we want everybody to go cashless, contactless is safe, right? So whatever that offline promotions that we have been doing, we swap, we switch, we pivot. So we did online. We asked them to stay at home, but how? I need to go out and get my groceries. I need to go out and get my stuff. I need to go out and, take some money, but no need. You use Touch and Go e-wallet. You stay at home. You get things delivered to you. At the end of the day, you duduk diam-diam di rumah. You stay at home. So that's what we did. So this was situational disruption. Very simple, no cost. We didn't spend any money for that. So again, gimmicks and shaking things up are cool, but are they ready? Will they accept it? So when I say they, there are two segments that we are talking about here. Yeah, do they even care? One is your business. The other one is your customers, right? So before you even do any disruptions or before you even do anything to the market, right, you want the market to react. You want the market to say something or to do something based on your disruption ideas, activities, or campaigns. But is your team ready? Is your business ready? Are your people there? Do they understand? What do they need to do? Do they understand what kind of disruption is this? And do they even know why are we doing this, right? So in the first place, when the management says we need to create something, we need to be thinking something that is out of the box. But do they understand? Are they even ready to create? And then we need to innovate to come up with something that is maybe to stand out or something that is very relevant. And then we need to sell. Selling means it's not just selling your products, but you need to sell the reasons why you're doing this. Is it a gimmick or is it relevant to the market? And as for the consumers, will they need it? You can do whatever you want, you can do. You can spend millions of money, you can do a lot of things, you can change it, you can change that, you can offer this, you can offer that. But will they need it? And will they accept it? Right? So at the end of the day, think about it again. All your people in the company, all of the employees in the company, they are the real consumers. So they will put themselves in the consumer's shoes, because as for me, I do market the product, but I'm a consumer. Will I use the product in the first place? Right? Even before I create something, even before I disrupt the market, I need to understand and put myself as a consumer, because I can do a lot of things. So I'm always stuck, and I think all marketeers will be feeling this as well, because do we want to do this? Do we want to do something great, a gimmick, something that will stand out? or putting ourselves as a consumer, and will we buy it? Will we get the idea of all this, right? Again, innovation. Is it the right thing to do? Or you just stick to whatever you have? Or you just enhance the things that you already have, to meet more needs? And then you do some kind of pivoting and react based on situation. And then, or you launch new products because my competitions are not doing anything and I must launch something new. Do you really need to do that? Or you are launching new products because the consumers need something new, or you want to offer more than what you already have now? So this is a hint that we are actually launching new products that will meet consumers' needs, but nothing that is going to be like, bombastic, but it will meet the consumer's need. Satisfaction. Will they satisfy? Will your people feel satisfied by doing something new or by giving back to the consumers? And at the end of the day is, hang on, I can't, okay. Will the needs be covered? So again, do you want to do the gimmick or do you want to be relevant? Okay? Yep. So in short, your people are consumers. Your employees, the people, the product team, the marketing team, the audit team, the finance team, the compliance guys, the sales guys, they are consumers. Like it or not, they are. But they speak to consumers. So this is a scene of somebody that is driving on the road. So that's a driver, that's a road, and obviously that driver is in a car. Is going towards somewhere, he knows his destination maybe. But we as the product provider, as a marketer, or as a business, we innovate the models and specs of the car. And then we provide the colors, because I might like blue, I might like red, I might like green, I might like gray, right? And then we set the price. Setting the price, you need to know your consumers. Can they afford? Or do they really want to have a great car, even though they don't have a lot of money, but they just want to have it. They just want to be like, hey, I'm one of you guys, right? And then we complete their needs. So again, consumers are the drivers and they know their destination. No matter how much or how great you're doing with your products, and no matter how great the car is, at the end of the day, they will drive the car and they know the destination. If I'm going to KLCC, I know I'm going to KLCC. I don't care about the car that I'm driving as long as I get there. So disrupt but be relevant, make innovation simple, yet a big deal. So you don't have to do something that is so great or do a gimmick. You can, but at the end of the day, will people care? Is it a big deal? Or will people do something about it? Or they will just ignore you? Right? So again, so this is a wrap up to my presentation. As you can see, it's a very simple deck, but I hope it's relevant to everybody. Thank you.
Hi, thank you for that. So I think you make an interesting point, right? Don't be innovative for innovative's sake. Just make sure that it's relevant and also it's going to actually benefit your business.
Yep.
Okay, that's really cool. So I think we have a few questions. We have 4 questions. Okay, cool. So here are some of the questions which I shall be waiting to come on the screen. Oh, no questions? Oh, okay. Sorry. I think we were very dazzled with the presentation.
It's okay. I have the time for you all. It's okay.
Thank you. Okay. So first question. Oh, hi Izra. What approaches can marketers adopt to be catchy? A question by Gary.
Oh, okay. Hi Gary. Thanks for shouting the question. So again, as a marketer and as marketers, we all like catchy stuff. We all like naughty stuff. We have done naughty stuff, catchy stuff. I've done it. You have done it. But again, what approaches can marketers adopt to be catchy? Again, you can be catchy, but will something catchy relate to your consumers. At the end of the day, you need to understand your audience, right? Like if they're very young, if they like something new, you can't be catchy because they are tired. They have enough of traditional stuff. But if you are talking to traditional people, 35 and above, 40 and above, they don't really care about catchy stuff. They want to know what they're getting in return. I spend X amount of money, what will I get? Right? Like even they count that 10 cents. Trust me. So you can be catchy, but know the right people, know your crowd, and know the right approaches. Sometimes, again, you don't have to spend any money, but you can be catchy at zero cost.
All right, thank you. We have a few other questions as well here. The second question is from Susan. Thank you, Susan. Are there challenges when TNG e-wallet tried to make a difference in the crowded market? Ooh, this is interesting.
Interesting. Okay, thank you, Susan. It's a nice question. It's a good question. So challenges, of course. Everybody has challenges, right? Not just Touch 'n Go e-wallet. Everybody, day-to-day thing, right? So again, before you even think about the challenges, don't let it disrupt your mind. So at the end of the day, if you want to think about the challenges, yes, there will be challenges because not everybody will trust you, not everybody will buy in, not everybody will be liking you, right? Even now, we are facing a lot of people saying bad things about us. That is one of the challenges that we are facing. But at the end of the day, do you want to really think about that, or do you want to keep firm to your ground and just tell them like, hey, yes, we do have a lot of things that will come against us, but do we really know what we want to give back to the community? Now, the challenge is, so when COVID-19 happened, so a lot of people had difficulties to go out, to leave their house. So we were thinking, okay, how do we want to make people go to the shops and buy? And then things happen again, all the shops were asked to close. And then we know our strength. Always look at your strength that other people don't have. So this is the tip and the trick. But turning challenges into opportunities. So you take COVID-19 is a bad thing already. No one can do anything about it. It's beyond our control. But what can you do to react to that situation? You push contactless payment, safe payment, and you tell people that, hey, you don't need to go to TA to withdraw your money from the machine. It might not be clean. You use Touch 'n Go e-wallet. You stay at home. It's in your hand. Your phone is in your hand, and it's very safe. So again, turn challenges into opportunities. So that's one of the big ways that we all can think of, and having good team, to knowing what you need to do. That is very key.
Thank you. And I think just to tie it up with what you said before, right? So challenges are lessons, and lessons are a good place to figure out where you want to pivot.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's a really, really good question. Thank you, Susan. So we have another question from Tasha. So this is, how can a small startup disrupt with meaning? We are small companies and not like the big boys with a lot of resources.
Yeah, thank you, Tasha. So talking about resources, right? Like not every company has the same resources. Like when we talk about resources, it can be budget, it can be people, it can be equipment, it can be, do I have enough things or resources to shout or to disrupt the market? Going back to the previous question, again, knowing who you are, knowing what best things you have in your own company. You have the best people, use that, utilize them, optimize people. You have in-house channels at no cost, optimize, engage. All you need to do is to engage with the customers, because at the end of the day, you can pay for a lot of things, you can spend a lot of money, big boys can spend a lot of money out there, but will they engage? Or I will see something, wow, that's nice, that's very catchy, but will I do something about it? So startup doesn't need to be worried about the big boys as long as you know your stuff. You need to know yourself, just like we as individuals, right? So we have like someone who is richer than us, someone prettier than us, someone that is looking better than us. But how do we sell ourselves? We know our strength. So it goes back to my first slide, a single guy trying to get a girl that already has a boyfriend. So it's a long-term relationship, so the boyfriend has been there with her, but you need to know who you are, and you need to know the best time, and you need to know what is it in you that you don't need to do so much, and you need to know what the girl needs. So that's a tip as well.
That's very enjoyable. And actually, after this, we're going to have a conversation about how to set me up with a guy.
Of course, sure. I can help you with that.
Yeah. All right. So our next question is from John. Has the e-wallet space been disrupted? How has TNG e-wallet made a difference in the fintech space?
Okay, hi, John. Thanks for the question. So I can relate this to what happened at the beginning of the year. So everyone knows about the first government campaign, the previous government's campaign that was E-Tunai Rakyat. So before the team launched the campaign, everybody was kind of worried that will this work? Will this bring people to use Touch 'n Go e-wallet? So again, true enough, 70% of Malaysians claim with Touch 'n Go e-wallet. And we were just like, what, less than 2 years old? So we were kind of new at that time when that happened. But surprisingly, I can tell you in 2019, the year ended with 6.8 million users. And after that happened, after the 70% of Malaysians claim with Touch 'n Go e-wallet, it became 10 million. And now we are already at 11 million users. We are the number one e-wallet in the country. Trust me. So it has been disrupted by a lot of people, not just the competitions, but the customers as well. The users of the previous wallets or the other wallets now. So they are so used to the rest of the wallets, but they're very new to Touch 'n Go e-wallet. But again, we did a study. We did a research. What is there in the app that people want to see? Do we make it a vast thing, a very, bombastic thing, or we just need something simple? So it goes back to customer experience. So again, don't really care about, being disrupted by the competition. Don't worry about the competitors saying like they are great, they are this, they are that. So not everybody will like you, but there will be people who will stick to you, right? So again, know who you are. Ignore about the challenges, ignore about all the disturbances, ignore about disruptions, know what you're doing. And small companies, big companies, know who you are, know what you're doing. And the most important thing is be relevant. Make it simple to the customers. It's all about user journey, it's all about customer experience.
All right, awesome. So our audience turned up today, so we have 4 more questions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, thank you so much to the audience for being so awesome. Okay, so we have a question from Rainis. Can you share what local entrepreneurs can do to stimulate their businesses?
Okay, how do I pronounce your name? Rainis? Yeah. Okay, thanks for the question. Again, for small businesses, I do understand that you don't have that amount of resources. Sometimes you don't even have resources at all. Partnerships work. For us, we are a startup, right? So at one point we were not as big as the other wallets. We do partnerships. You can't do things alone. Something small needs to marry something big, or need to marry someone that is very right for your business. So partnership. So one word, partnership. It will help your business. And don't worry about, I don't have a lot of things to shout, I don't have enough resources to compete in the market to get the customers to come to my shop. Don't worry about that. Partner with the right people. So partnerships. Yep.
Yeah, so it's like, what do you have and how can you benefit from your partner as well?
Right, partnerships.
Yeah, it's like a marriage.
Yep, it's like a marriage. Yeah, it's like a marriage. You complete each other, right?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know yet. Maybe in a few years I'll get back.
Okay.
Okay, so we have another question from Charmaine. Most of your examples are logo designs. Is there any example like disruptive changes in services or products that you can talk about?
Okay, again, the examples that I've shared earlier were just some of the things that happened. There are a lot of other things that happen as well. So I think it goes back to the situation. Sometimes it didn't just about the logo, sometimes it's about what happened. So if everyone remembers, so one of the good examples is AirAsia. It wasn't about their logo, they changed the uniform for that period of time because they wanted everybody to fly AirAsia, to go back to the hometown and vote. So that's not changing the logo, that's just changing the perception. So that's one example about not changing the logo, but changing the perception that, hey, I'm now blue, but everybody knew their intention. So yeah, that's one of the example in services. Yep.
Okay, cool. So we have another one by Alex. What is your advice to new businesses and brands who want to make a positive impact to consumers?
Thanks, Alex. Impact. So talking about impact, right? So again, I will repeat the same thing. You need to know the situation. So COVID-19. So a good example that I can give you now is Touch and Go e-wallet. So the good example is COVID-19. So I'm not saying that COVID-19 is good, but it's a blessing in disguise in a way, because Malaysians were so hard to trust e-wallet, digital stuff, like will my information be known by everybody. So it goes back to PDPA Act, and as well as is it secure? So COVID-19 happened when they were stuck at home. They started to think about, I need to use e-wallet because I can get something delivered to my house and I can pay from home and I still get my stuff delivered to me. So new businesses and brands who want to make a positive impact to consumers, don't think about a lot of things that are too complicated. Just know the situation, enter during or do something at the right time, and talk to the right people, knowing what they need. At the end of the day, marketing 101 is very basic. Marketing is all about giving back or satisfying consumers' needs and wants. If they have a lot of money, you satisfy their wants. If they don't have a lot of money, they just need what is essentials and necessaries, you go with their needs. Yep. So it works for small businesses or big businesses. So at the end of the day is know the situation, know your resources, and know whether or not what you're doing is relevant. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Any more questions?
Yes, we have one
Oh,
more.
okay.
I think this is the last one, right?
Sure.
Okay, so we have one more question from Jeffrey. How does the Touch and Go
red
e-wallet
brands.
market itself to stand out against your competitors? Example, red or / green brands.
Okay. Touch and Go e-wallet market itself to stand out against your competitors. Again, we didn't do something extraordinary. We didn't do something crazy. We just did something that is relevant to the society. So when we entered the market, right, so we made ourselves very clear, the vision clear, saying that we want to transform, we want to induct Malaysians into a cashless society. So when you say cashless society, it means without cash, right? As simple as without cash. You need to challenge yourself. So forget about the red brand, forget about the green brands, because at the end of the day, the green brand, they have another priority. It's not just about the e-wallet. So sometimes people need them for something that Touch and Go e-wallet doesn't have or the red brand doesn't have. And what the red has, we might not have it. And what we have, both of the brands don't have it. So standing out is not about playing with the colors so much. Sometimes it's not about shouting that, oh, we are very different, we are like that, we are so great, we are good, we are the best, we are the best. Have a proof. So now we are brave enough to say that we are the #1 e-wallet because of the campaign that I mentioned earlier that made us have 11 million users and more than 220 merchant partners. Why? Because we don't need to say that we are great, but actions speak louder than words. Yep.
I love that. I really, really love that. It's very philosophical.
Thank you.
So we're about to
Is
say
that the
good.
last question?
Do we have another one? No. Okay, so we do not have any more questions. But thank you so much for all the questions from the audience
Thank
members.
you for having me.
Yeah.
Thanks for all the questions.
Cool. So, all right. So we're going to wrap up the session, and then we're going to move on. And we're going to bring it forward. I'm just going to say thank you to everyone.